Hello everyone. So my name is Alex and I'm a digital advisor and partner at Bonfire Group. To talk to you a bit about Bonfire first before I go on, largest contingency of SEO professionals in Australia. So we've got 37 people under the one roof in Subiaco. We work with national clients from that side. Nothing that we do is outsourced whatsoever. And we are a Google Premier partner, and we recently won an award for Specialist Agency of the Year 2 months ago at the Crown Towers, where about 1,000 people or so attended the event, and we're fortunate enough to take away that award for our specialty, which is search. So we work with a number of clients. 20 to 30% would be your large businesses like your Triumph, Water Corp, Synergy, Western Power, Betts and the lot. Your 50 to 60% would be your local dentists and your LA Fit as an example, A1 locksmiths, and then 20% would be your micro businesses that we work with. So today's purpose, I guess why I'm here, is I'm going to be talking about driving and converting traffic, and really the things that you can do yourself before looking at engaging with a digital agency. There are some things that you can do. My preference is that when I speak to someone, a business owner or a marketing manager, that person that I'm speaking to has an idea of what it is that SEO, SEM, what it can do for them. They have some sort of knowledge around it, as opposed to, here, take the reins and just do it for me. So hopefully you'll get something out of today. I'm going to talk about a couple of tools that you can use, one being SEMrush, the other one being Google Trends, the other one being Google Keyword Planner, and really just some general structure and website content and all the rest. So before we go on, this is a Google search results page. I've typed in a keyword, electric bikes. There are your paid ads that sit right up the top, and then you've got the organic ads that are right down below. My question to everyone is, who clicks on the paid ads when they do a Google search first? No one in the room. 1, 2. Okay. Well, it's 10 to 20% of you, that's the stat. You just don't know it yet. So who clicks on the bottom then? Yep, pretty much everyone. So it's interesting. So the stat is 10 to 20% click on the paid ads, and the rest click into the organic ads. Now, the only time that actually changes, just to educate you guys a little bit about how people click, is when there's something going on in someone's life, it's time sensitive, or there's something going on that they need to make a decision now. As an example, you go home tonight and your toilet's overflowing, you need to call a plumber. You're going to Google plumbing, emergency plumber, and 50% of people in that case will actually click onto the paid ads. So that's where, or you've locked yourself out of the house at 11 o'clock at night and it's raining and you need a locksmith. That's where the lion's share of clicks go, and that's why they're actually so expensive for those particular searches. So a bit about AdWords, quick results. It gives you a measured return, i.e. you spend you can track through, especially Shopify and through any e-commerce site really, you spend $100 and you can get $500 back. You can see what you've spent to what you've actually earned. It gives you, some great targeting options where you can target people that are in Mandurah, or you can target people in Perth. You can target people that are looking for, typing in black hipster hats, and it's very, 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 very targeted to that point in terms of what you're selling. But the best part about it, I think, about AdWords is you can forecast easier with AdWords. So you can actually see through Google Keyword Planner, which I'll go through, you can see what do you need to spend, how many visitors can you get from that. So if you spend $100, you might get 100 visitors, and then you can estimate, okay, what's my average cost per sale, and then what do I need to get to actually make this work. So it allows you to do that sort of stuff. SEO, on the other hand, it's much more trusted. As I've seen from the crowd, it's much more trusted, and as a result of that, it's got a much higher search volume. And from there, it's way more cost effective long term. I will say this, I've said this many times before and I'll say it again, AdWords isn't for everyone from that side. If your average cost per sale is not high enough to warrant the Google click cost that's there, AdWords may not work for you. So it's just important that you understand your market before you even consider turning on the tap to something like Google AdWords. So today I want to talk about a Shopify site named Wilson and Frenchie. Now, Wilson and Frenchie, they're actually a client of ours, but they sell baby clothing. And they sell, little newborn baby clothing, boys, girls. They sell, your baby sheets, your muslin wraps, and they do a whole bunch in that particular space. And what I want to do is pretend that, I guess, I'm the owner of Wilson and Frenchie, let's just say, and the things that I could do before speaking to a digital agency for this particular brand, and the things that I would look at. So the first tool that I want to talk about is SEMrush. Now, can I see a show of hands? Does anyone who knows what SEMrush is? Yeah, cool. A couple of you. So SEMrush is this fancy tool here, and you can register a free account which gives you some sort of insights, but a paid account will give you a lot more, and this is a paid account here, but it doesn't cost too much. But effectively with SEMrush, if you can see up the top, I've typed in wilsonandfrenchie.com.au and I've pressed search. Now this tells me, because they only basically signed up with us in December of last year, and you can see where the traffic has actually grown ever since. But you can actually see, roughly what how many visitors are they getting every month, what's going on in terms of who are their competitors. So I'm seeing Baby Bunting, Pottery Barn Kids, Kmart, Standard. But then it gives you, I don't know if you guys can see that from back there, but it gives you some sample keywords on what they're actually ranking for. So my advice is how you would use this tool is I would load up SEMrush, think about who your competitors are, type in your competitors' website address in there and see what keywords they're ranking for and what's working for them. Okay, that gives you an idea of how keywords, what keywords to actually target. So if I click on View Full Report, I can actually see a whole bunch of keywords that these guys are ranking for. So you've got Wilson and Frenchie, obviously, muslin wraps, which has got 2,400 searches per month, bassinet sheets, cot sheets, etc. And you can see kind of what's going on from there. Now that gives me an understanding of what competitors are actually ranking for. But what the next step would be to look at something like Google Trends. So Google Trends, what Google Trends is, so who knows what Google Trends are firstly in the room? Most. Perfect. So Google Trends, you can type in any particular keyword you want into Google Trends and you can see what that trend has been since 2004 when the data first started. So has the trend been up, has it been down? And you can make a business, or it can assist you in making a business decision if you're going into an inclining market or a declining market. So as an example of a Google trend, laptops. That's been the Google trend in Australia for laptops. What happened in 2009? What's that?
Kevin Rudd and the incentive.
Tablets.
As well as Kevin Rudd.
As well as Kevin Rudd. We blame Kevin Rudd. So, tablets, right? Look at that. So that's been the trend. As soon as laptops dropped off, tablets came up. The reason why I outline this is you got to look at your products. Are people searching for them? Are you in an inclining market or a declining market? If you're in a declining market, work out what people are searching for instead of your product, because there's something else that they're looking for. Is it a product that you're not currently promoting that you need to look into? So these are the things that you look at. But Google Trends, and I always, this is a funny example, this one here, kind of to break the ice a bit, but who knows this man here? I knew that I was going to get that response. This is how Google Trends works in the real world, okay? So I have no political views either way from my end, but this is what the fact says. So when did Kevin Rudd, when did Donald Trump get into power? Does anyone remember? Yeah, November 2016. November 2016, immigrate to Canada in the US. Huge spike. And that's real life data. You can use it for anything. You can type into Google Trends anything, and you can see that. And it's just what I'm saying is I mean that's on the funny side. But let's go back to Wilson and Frenchie for a second. Baby clothing. I can see that the trend has been okay. All states are searching except for NT, from what I can see. But the trend is pretty good, and it's worth targeting that keyword. Now, through my other research, I've also seen other keywords that might be valuable for them. The one that I actually saw was muslin wraps. Now, does everyone know what a muslin wrap is?
No.
So it's a cotton little baby wrap, very thin, that you wrap your baby in, right? But the trend has only been from about 2010 or so, and it's been going up, and it's not popular in WA yet. So it's popular everywhere else but WA. I mean, from that end. So it's in an inclining market is what I'm getting at. So it's something that we targeted, and now they're ranking number one for muslin wraps as an example, and it's got 2,400 searches per month, that keyword. Okay? So that's what you should be doing. You should be identifying what are those keywords that you should be looking at from that side. We then move on from Google Trends. So let's pretend you've gone to SEMrush, you've identified all your competitors in the keywords, you've now looked at Google Trends, you've figured out what those are. You now go to Google Keyword Planner, which allows you to see how many people are searching for these keywords every month, and then what is the cost to advertise through Google. So I've gone and typed into Google a whole bunch of keywords, baby onesies, bassinet sheets, cot sheets, muslin wraps, etc. I can see how many people are searching for these keywords on a monthly basis, and I can see what Google is suggesting I bid for these keywords if I was to run a Google AdWords campaign myself. Now, with Google AdWords, like I said, if you run it, it doesn't necessarily guarantee it's going to be return on investment positive or ROI positive. Here, I can see that let's go back to muslin wraps again. It's $1.08 to run per click is what I'm going to pay if I was to rank in Google AdWords for that keyword. Now, that's telling me that I need to spend $108 for 100 visitors, okay? You've then got to work out what's my average cost per sale. So if their average cost per sale for one of these wraps is $59.99 and they only make, I don't know, $30 out of that or $40 out of that in profit as an example, then what it's telling me is I need to sell 3 in every 100, so 3% conversion rate in order for it to just be ROI positive. And that's how you can forecast. And that's what you need to do and think about your own numbers from that side. Okay, but then from there, Google also give you recommendations on the other keywords that you should look at. So again, you can see that, onesie 65 cents, 73 cents for adult onesie, newborn baby clothes. You can see all of that, and you can make a decision which keywords you want to target. So you can either run a Google AdWords campaign, which is Google AdWords is where it can get quite expensive, but where you can drive traffic yourself through something like SEO or organic search is the next part. Structure and content. So your site and what your site says about you. I'm going to touch on this. I know, Scott, you're going to touch a lot more on this from that side. But with taking all those keywords into consideration, you need to ensure that your website says the same thing as what the people are actually typing in. So one thing that I look at is your categories. As you can see here, one of the categories is muslin wraps as an example, which is what I've talked about throughout this conversation, throughout this presentation. And then from there, you would have other categories that line up to what people are looking for. From there, your content needs to be relevant to what people are actually typing in. So we're getting into, wrap your baby, cotton muslin wraps, baby blankets. These are keywords that people are actually typing in. So it needs to be relevant to that. Now, SEO, I'm not going to get into it because we don't have the time for it, but there's, link building, there's outreach opportunities, there's reviews, there's distribution of other content. There's a whole bunch of stuff that you can do for SEO. But I guess if you've taken anything away from this, presentation would be to use these tools to basically work out kind of what's right for you. So if you are at the point where you are ready to speak to a digital marketing agency now, these are the things that I think you need to have in line before you make that phone call. You've got to know where are you at with your planning right now, so you can inform kind of the agency that you're speaking to. What are your goals? You need to know what you want to achieve before you actually start doing it. Very important. And a lot of people don't actually have goals when I do speak to them. What are some of your challenges? So again, that could be that you're not selling enough of this particular product or enough of that, and then how can you drive strategies to increase that? Timeframes are really important. So timeframes are important because if the client doesn't tell me you know, hey, I need to make this work within 3 months or I'm going under, then that I can affect my decision on how I can push the client in a certain way of, let's say, running an AdWords or Google Shopping or whatever it might be. It is campaign as opposed to just running SEO. So it's important to know that. And very, very importantly, what's your budget? Have a budget if you're going to be running marketing effectively. So once again, to cover off, these are the tools that I talked about. Google Trends, Keyword Planner, SEMrush, really important tools that you should all use. And the other really good one is the Google Consumer Barometer. That's a really cool tool that you can use. It's something that you can look at behaviours of people around certain industries and how they behave, and you know, the demographics, their age, their sex, their everything, and you can work out kind of who you should be targeting. So that's it from me. Thank you very much.